Good afternoon. It's been a minute. The reason I'm making this message is I'd like to illuminate you to a few things about where I've been, and want to talk about that photo. I also want to discuss the relationship between Rhyme Sayers and myself. Last year, around this time, Rhyme Sayers made the decision to publicly release me from the label, but I'm here to tell you today that I'm technically still signed with them. It's been going on for a year, and my attorney and myself have tried numerous times to get a hold of them, to bring them to the table, to finalize a separation agreement, but they haven't been getting back to us. We've tried for numerous times to end things professionally, and they missed every deadline. So now I'm talking to you. It's been hard. It's been frustrating. I've been dealing with just depression and grief and anger and just sadness, really. There's been a lot of things that have been said about me. There's been a lot of misinformation, and there's just been a lot of lies. And I just want to bring some light to the dark and tell you my truth. There's been accusations of sexual misconduct and abuse, and they're simply not true. I have never forced a woman to do anything with me. I have never raped anyone, and I never abused anyone. There was a photo going around of my ex with a cast on her arm, and I've been well aware of what's been said and just the overall impression. I'm sure if you've seen this photo and you don't know the story, it looks horrible, but there's always a story behind everything. There's always more to the story. On February 18th, 2018, I was with my ex in the backseat of a taxi. We were on our way to a nightclub in Minneapolis called Ice House. We were drunk and we got into an argument. And during that argument, she said to the cab driver, a straight up lie. She said, "Did you know he beats me up all the time?" And when I corrected her on that and I said, "That's not true, why would you say something like that?" And that's when she started swinging at me and punching me repeatedly in the face. And all I could do during that time was grab her arms and hold her back. When we arrived at the club, the cab driver told us to get the fuck out of the car, and the arguing spilled out into the street. There were a bunch of onlookers, and as I was walking away, she ran after me. One of my friends happened to be outside. He grabbed her, held her back, but in doing so, she got away and slipped on some ice and fell face forward, landing on her wrist. She gets up, decks me in the face one last time, and goes off into the night. I don't see or hear from her for the rest of the night. Two bouncers outside of the club, they said, "deM, this ain't a good look for you, man. You need to go home. She's white, you're black, and if the cops show up, it's gonna be trouble for you. Go home." The next morning, I woke to bruises on my face and text messages from her friends calling me a monster. They shared with me a picture of her laying in the hospital, and she claimed that I did that to her. It's the same picture y'all saw. It's not true. Next day, I called Rhymesayers and I told them about the situation. I told them the story, and they told me to do nothing. They told me to say nothing, and that hopefully it goes away, but if it doesn't, we'll take care of it. Best thing to do for you is to move on. So I did. I tried. A couple months after the incident happened, my ex and I got up and we talked about that night. We apologized to each other, and she apologized to me for lying about how she wound up in the hospital. She admitted to falling down on the ice and landing on her wrist. We continued to hang out for a couple years, on and off, because I thought of her as a friend, and I cared about her, and I wanted us to move on. The last time that we spoke or saw each other was February 27th. She stayed at my house, and we kicked it, and it was cool. I never saw or heard from her again. Fast forward to June of 2020, and she resurrects this issue by once again claiming that I'm abusive and that I sent her to the hospital. I was horrified. The fallout was intense, and people believe that. People believe that I sent her to the hospital, and I understand why, because I didn't say anything. I couldn't. I was traumatized, and I needed time for myself to heal. So I kept it to myself. But I can't live this way anymore. I gotta be real with you. I can't do this anymore, you know? There's been no justice. There's been no truth. I hope this message helps somebody that goes through similar things like this, to know that you're not alone. It's wild, you know. I wouldn't wish this upon anybody. I think cancel culture is extremely toxic, and because it seems like anybody can say anything and people will believe it without proof, without evidence. You are guilty till proven innocent, and I don't have the answers, but something's got to change, you know? Rhymesayers released a statement back of June of 2020, around this time, and they said in that statement that they don't support abusers or predators, and I am none of those things. I am none of those things. I hope that we can get this situation resolved. I would like to move on. And I think it's only right that the people know that I am still under contract with Rhymesayers. And this has been going on for a year. So I wish you all well. Stay blessed. Have a good day. Peace.